Is your freedom real if you cannot afford to live?
Remember, we fight for what's right because it's time to go right.
Are politicians fighting the wrong battles while Americans fight their bills? Welcome to the real conversation.
Our bills rising and the grocery line grows. Everybody feeling pressure, nobody really knows. Headlines screaming, but the truth stands still. Real life happens when you open that bill. This ain't about left or right tonight. It's about truth in the spotlight. Welcome to Go Right, where the truth meets reality. Go right with Peter Boykin, the Constitutionalist for liberty. Voices rising strong and free, talking real responsibility. Welcome to Go Right. Welcome to Go Right.
Federal, state, and local lines, where policy meets everyday life.
This is where the conversation starts. Welcome to Go Right. Stand up, let your voice be heard. Go right with Peter Boykin, where freedom is more than just a word. GoRightNews.com. It's time to go right.
Is your freedom real if you cannot afford to live? Welcome to hashtag Go Right with Peter Boykin. I'm your Constitutionalist for liberty. Freedom sounds powerful in speeches. It sounds inspiring in campaign ads. It sounds heroic in political slogans. Politicians stand behind podiums and talk about liberty, opportunity, and the American dream. They talk about growth, progress, and historic moments. But freedom feels very different when the lights are about to be shut off, when the gas tank is half empty, and payday is still days or weeks away, and when families are choosing between groceries and prescriptions. That is where the real conversation begins. Because freedom is not just an abstract principle, it is a lived experience. It is the ability to breathe without constant financial pressure tightening around your chest. It is the ability to plan for tomorrow instead of surviving today. When citizens feel trapped by rising costs, shrinking purchasing power, and policies that seem disconnected from reality, they begin to question whether the system is still working for them. And that is the moment where trust begins to fracture. When politics argue about symbolic battles while your grocery bills climb, something is broken. Not because cultural issues do not matter, but because priorities appear misaligned with the daily reality of the people they represent. Citizens watch leaders fight over headlines while kitchen tables become places for financial stress and anxiety. When federal spending expands without discipline and inflation follows, something's broken. When officials claim victory because inflation slowed while prices remain permanently high, families notice the gap between economic language and economic reality. And numbers on a chart do not change what people feel at the checkout counter. When energy policy drives up transportation and utility costs, the ripple effect spreads through every sector of this economy. Food becomes more expensive. Manufacturing becomes more expensive. Housing becomes more expensive. And every layer of the system amplifies the pressure on ordinary people. When state regulations quietly increase insurance premiums, restrict competition, or create licensing barriers that raise costs for small businesses, something is broken. State governments often operate below the national spotlight, yet they influence daily expenses in profound ways. Decisions made in state capitals shape whether markets are competitive or constrained, whether businesses grow or struggle, and whether consumers pay more than necessary. When local zoning boards restrict housing supply, delay permits, and limit development while wondering why rent explodes, something is broken. Local government is often where affordability is won or lost. Infrastructure planning affects commuting costs and traffic.